Hello, my name is Will, and I'm a werewolf. Many of you have joined the Facebook group, which was a bit of a shock, and are giving me feedback on my podcasts, which is a bit of a shock. I do appreciate it though. It is lovely to hear what you think. Those people who haven't joined the Facebook group, if you want to join the Facebook group, then a link to the Facebook group is in the description below, as is my Twitter handle. Anyway, I'm going to get on with my podcast now. The podcast is titled As a Werewolf Runs from Love. I took this account sat at the foot of my werewolf soul. What do I mean by that? Well, I call him my posit, and he is my very best friend. Hopefully, you've listened to other episodes and you know all about this, but I'll talk about it a little bit. He takes the form of a huge fuck-off wolf. He is the soul of a huge fuck-off wolf that willingly gave itself to a human hundreds of years ago so they could both continue to live. He chose me as a small child to continue on his journey, and we have never been parted. He is my teacher and my mentor, and he keeps me mentally unstable or stable, one of those. When we do choose to combine together, we can become a werewolf or a wolf. Those are the basics. I will go into more detail later. He is hundreds of years old. He's passed through generations of humans. In that time, he's chose 5 to be his wolf kin. Trying many more than 5, but most of those were failures. Not many can accept the wolf soul and the werewolf they become. Those few that he could combine with meant he would continue on his journey. This is the story he tells. He tells this story about leaving his tribe. He tells us his reasoning and what actually happened. In the sky, there was only war. On the ground, there was only the run. However, I find the difference only tentative. The night sky was filled with Thor swinging his hammer and laying waste to those that stood against him. In my heightened state of fear, folly, and I have to say fury, I could make out his giant form in the sky, and seeing him fight gave me something to remind me to keep moving. Every moment I could keep running was another small victory. I would be alive. I was desperate to extend this little life further, so each millisecond mattered to me. The old gods were with us, which meant I might make it out of this horror if I believed, which even against the evidence before me, I did not. A word, dear listener, at this point from the describer. Or the transcriber? Transcriber? Maybe. Fenrir and his human had no fundamental in-depth knowledge of what he calls the old gods. He only learns of them later, and then in hindsight uses them in this narrative. The god was struggling. He was being overwhelmed and closed upon. The clouds formed gigantic horrors against him. Great, misshapen creatures wrapped themselves around him. Maybe the chaos gods of the sagas were in amongst them, or were them? I did not know, but they tried to envelop him as he smote and damned them with each blow. He swung left and right as they closed upon him. He fought not for his life, but for the space in which to carry on the fight. If he could continue to resist, he had not lost. If he could continue to destroy, his life was not over. The brutal roars of thunder were an exclamation of his wrath, although the intertwined figures that sought to crush him absorbed the sound. His mighty strikes tore through the firmament. Each one ripped apart the clouds, and as they were shredded, impenetrable rain fell as if they bled. The mighty being knew he was lost, yet he fought on with joy. He waited to be destroyed. Each extra swing brought elation as he stole another moment of their time and another moment of their life from them. He stole their time for success and celebration and their very being. He laughed in his last few moments. He existed in them for what he was made, to fight and destroy his enemies. In these seconds, his true worth was being shown. Lightning played over the distant mountains with each sweep of Mjolnir. The gigantic warhammer's ecstatic joy could be heard in the booming of impacts that it made upon its foes. The old enemy was on the march, and the ancient god was fighting them gloriously all around me. He was outnumbered, millions to one. Yet he still fought. He stood his ground. He would stand his ground until he fell. I ran with all my heart, not with an idea of where to, but with the concept of from. I was running away from. At this moment in time, where to did not matter. I was being chased by only one demon, and that demon was love. The rain-soaked monster behind me was running me down. It would not stop until I did. I would have to stop at some point and put up my own fight, but not yet. For now, I was running. Thor was trapped in the heavens. I was not. I had the whole world to run to, regroup, and take my enemy on a more equal basis. I would enjoy its death. I would take it down and free the world from its fallacy that was chasing me to the ground. I would kill and destroy in the same manner as Thor, but on my terms. I may not be the hero of Valhalla. I may not be willing to sell my life for the one battle, but I would sell my life, but it would be at the ultimate cost to those who try to kill me with love. Running is an amazing feeling as the wolf. I never seem to tire, and I never seem to lose the want to continue. I revel in it. I feel my heart pounding in rhythm with the gait of my run. I feel every deep breath of air entering and then leaving my lungs. I feel alive in this moment, and much more alive knowing that it could end any moment. I have no idea if I'm being shepherded in a particular direction or not. I have no idea if love wants me alive or dead. I have no idea of the strength of that follows. I have no idea what it is. I have very little in the way of ideas, as you might guess. I just know I have to run. I have to run from. That is my only at this time. I churn the miles beneath my heels. The storm is not a distraction but a driver. I take energy from the crazy madness above me. My emotionally addled brain fizzes in this background noise. There are unnatural energies at play, but the smashing of natural energies in the sky fills my pelt with static. The booming of Thor's hammer is fitting background song to my unpanicked run. I live by stoic principles, which means I don't really care about my problems. If I can do something about the problems, I will not worry. If there is nothing I can do about that problem, I do not worry. If there are no problems, then there's nothing to worry about. There is obvious common sense on all levels here, but not one that common people ever sense. Love does not work in these situations. It just doesn't work. I rush through the grass and the brush of the steppe. I am somewhere beyond the Ural Mountains, running on the plains there. I've not yet met any homes or houses or a single homestead or person. It would be good to find a place so at least I know that the world is still turning and life is still going on. Right now, that is not the case, and I run west. Why am I running? The simple reason is that I just want to stay alive, and running from it seems appropriate. The second reason is that I am escaping my past. My past is a tribe and my love. A love that I could never have or own. I own the love, but not the loved. The only thing that I could never possess. Everything else had been mine to take, to have. Her I could have. But she would never give me what I wanted. Her love. This was confusing and bad. She had given what I wanted to my brother. Her love. So all I have is my life. So I run, and I run. and I run.